The Deputy Prime Minister is satisfied with the firing of Wells. Meantime, the Prime Minister remains tight-lipped on the matter. I'm Clint Watson. The stories ahead in the Bahamas tonight.
There was some speculation that Dr. Dwayne Sands would throw his name in the ring for leadership of the Free National Movement. He said today that he's decided to run for deputy. We'll tell you why coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
Also tonight, find out who made it to the NPSA Men's Championship. The Bahamas tonight. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Is there more to it than what meets the eye? Well, former Polsec Renwood Wells says that's not the case after being relieved of his duties yesterday.
A statement from the Cabinet Office did not give any details as to why the post has been left vacant, but Wells says he's just grateful to have served in that capacity, while the substantive minister says the right course of action was taken. Clint Watson tonight talked to Wells and his former boss about the matter.
3 months after former Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works and Urban Development, Renwood Wells, reportedly signed a letter of intent, reportedly without authorization, his termination on Monday evening has left more questions than answers. Answers that appear to go unanswered by both Wells and Prime Minister the Right Honourable Perry Christie. As the nation's leader turned up today for a cabinet meeting, he was again silent on the issue, as he's been from day one. But it was a different tune from Wells's now former boss, Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis, who commented on how this will affect Wells's career going forward.
He just have to explain what happened. As I said before, what he did I would not have done, but I understand what he did.
Last week you said that there should be consequences for his actions. Are you satisfied with the action that's been taken?
I'm satisfied. Having now been relieved of his duties, it'll be for him to speak to the circumstances under which he would have signed the letter of intent.
Davis couldn't say whether Wells would be reassigned, saying it's a matter for the Prime Minister, but he noted Wells played an integral role at the Ministry of Works.
He was involved in most of the things I was doing, and he was effective as a parliamentary secretary with me, but he's now gone.
Do you think this affects your party's reputation to the public in any way?
I would think not.
As to Wells's failure to resign,
I think that was unfortunate. I think he was misguided not to have followed any advice, if that was the advice given to him.
Let me ask you, Deputy Prime Minister, did you have any involvement in this matter at all, as far as a letter of intent being signed? Were you involved in any way, fashion or form with instructions or anything?
No, not involved at all.
Speaking exclusively to ZNS News this morning, the man at the helm of the controversy, Renwood Wells, admitted that he was given his walking papers.
The Prime Minister has said that he would like for me to vacate that position, and I have done so. I am still the Member of Parliament for Bamboo Town.
The suspicion continues to grow surrounding this issue, as no one, including Wells, has not yet revealed what actually happened.
My position always was, if I was to speak to the issue, I would speak to the issue from the standpoint of having my quote-unquote earthly masters in the executive say why I should speak to the issue. And then I would speak to the issue. That was always my position. Now, I no longer have any quote-unquote earthly masters within the executive arm of the government. And the only masters I now have, really, are the people of Bamboo Town who have elected me to be the Member of Parliament for Bamboo Town. And so now I can speak to the issue. I don't think there's more to meet the eye. I think people, all of what is necessary is already out there in the public domain. I think just clarity and togetherness need to be brought to it, and I will do that.
The Deputy Prime Minister also said he could not say whether or not there will be a replacement to Wells. He says that decision on the Parliamentary Secretary will be up to the Prime Minister. At the Cabinet Office, Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Well, opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis is weighing in on the Wells saga. He told us that Wells should have been gone a long time ago.
You ask somebody to resign, and they don't. The next step is you dismiss them. You know, I give you a perfect example. And I want the public to interpret this themselves. not casting aspersions on anyone. But if your child did something wrong, and you said to your child, I'm going to beat you, or I'm going to discipline you for what you did, and your child said to you, if you try to beat me or discipline me, I can tell Daddy some things as I know some things. How would you react? Let the public answer that.
While there has been some speculation that Dr. Dwayne Sands would have put his name in the hat to run for leader of the Free National Movement, he announced today that he has decided to run for deputy leader of the party and will support any candidate that wins the leadership race. Janae Noel Ferguson was at that press conference today where he announced his intent.
I am pleased to announce my bid for the deputy leadership of the Free National Movement.
What was anticipated to be a three-way leadership race for the Free National Movement remains at 2, as Dr. Dwayne Sands announced today that he's decided to run for the deputy post of the party. He pledged to support the leadership candidate, Dr. Hubert Minnis, who's the sitting leader of the party, or Loretta Butler Turner, the party's deputy, now running for leader.
I don't know how that contest is going to turn out, nor do I know what's going to happen at the chairman level, the deputy chair, the Secretary General, etc. So when you ask me, am I prepared, able, and willing to work with either leader, my answer is unequivocally yes.
But why not run for the top position? Sands says the history of the party reflects that a sitting member of parliament would serve in that capacity, and he says that wheel shouldn't be reinvented.
I don't think that there will be any great problem from making a contribution riding shotgun as opposed to being in the driver's seat.
Sands was also pressed on whether or not he was satisfied with the leadership of the party. He admitted that there is some work to be done.
The public is not feeling the Progressive Liberal Party government at all. But they have expressed serious concerns about the Free National Movement as well. We acknowledge that. I certainly understand that. And I think that where we need to go is in a slightly different direction, but adjusting somewhat, significantly, so that the direction and the solutions that we outline are consistent with what Bahamian people feel and want.
Now, according to Sands, as far as he knows, only chairman of the FNM, Darren Cash, has also decided to run for the deputy post. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling was invested with the insignia of a Dame Grand Cross of the Most Distinguished Order of St. Michael and St. George at Buckingham Palace. Dame Marguerite also paid a courtesy call on Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace yesterday as well. The Governor General is being accompanied by her family.
The leader of the Anglican Church is calling on Bahamians to support the gender equality referendum. I'm Jared Higgs. I'll have all the details straight ahead in the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Ultra Low Sulfur Diesel.